We shall now start with inchoate offences. We will start off with inchoate offences in England and Wales. But first, what are inchoate offences? Now, if you look at the Oxford English Dictionary, the word inchoate basically means something which has just begun in this incipient stage, right? In an initial or an early stage. So inchoate offences are basically offences where the commission of it has just started. However, the offence is not completely committed yet, right? The offence has not been fully committed yet, fully completed. It's just at an initial or an early stage. But yet, the law still views that that itself is a criminal offence. Even if you have not completely committed the offence, it will still be considered to be an offence, an inchoate offence. Now, why does the law do that? Well, the first rationale is that the incomplete offences is just as bad as the complete ones, right? Just as bad as the complete ones. So, for example, if I take a gun and I aim it at my victim, intending to kill my victim, I pull the trigger. For some reason, I miss, right? Then I cannot just escape because, right? Because my aim was bad. I'm lucky because my aim was bad, right? It cannot be that way. So even though I didn't manage to kill him, yet, right, I did actually attempt to do that. So it's just as bad. Okay, it is just as bad because I've really done everything that I need to do to commit the offense. Another rationale is for public welfare or protection. So we want the police to be able to arrest, right, to arrest the perpetrators before the offense is committed. Is to prevent the offense from actually being committed. Okay, so these are the rationales for inchoate offenses. Now, under English law, there are three forms of inchoate offenses that we are going to look at. The first will be encouraging or assisting in the crime. Secondly is the offense of conspiracy. And finally, the offense of attempt, right? The offense of attempt. Let me illustrate these three kinds of inchoate offenses using references to Avengers Endgame again, right? I know that was some time ago, but this is to avoid releasing spoilers for those who, if I can't refer to a recent movie because some of you all may be so hardworking, busy with your coursework that you have not had time to watch it yet. So Avengers Endgame, I think most of us should have watched it by now. Even if you've not watched it, means that you don't really care what happens. Okay, so encouraging or assisting the crime would be where, for example, Captain America tries to persuade Tony Stark to steal the Infinity Stones. Okay, so stealing is theft, and you try to persuade another person to commit to commit the offense. That is encouraging encouraging another person to commit the crime. Conspiracy is when Captain America and Tony Stark agree that they will steal the space stone, right? So there's an agreement to actually steal to steal something, to commit theft. And an attempt would be where Tony Stark tries to steal it but was stopped by the Hulk. So he attempted to steal it, but then he was not able to complete the offense, right? Completely commit the offense. Okay, so that is attempt. So now we will look first at encouraging or the assisting of a crime. Previously, it was the offense of incitement, right? It wasn't encouraging or assisting a crime, it was an offense of incitement. And you'll see that the inciter is defined under the case of Crown against Goldman, where you seek to influence the mind of another. You incite a person, right? Almost like an instigation under Malaysian law. So you seek to influence the mind of another by suggestions, proposals, requests, exhortation, gestures. Gestures also can. Argument, persuasion, inducement, or the arousal of cupidity. What is arousal of cupidity? If you don't know, check the dictionary. Or in this day and age, just Google it, right? And basically, for the offense of incitement, the actus reus is that you incite another to commit the offense. whether or not the offense is actually carried out. So that is the incorrect nature, right? The offense need not be carried out. All you need to do is to try to encourage or you incite a person to commit the offense. So why is it then that Parliament decided to come up with a new law? Well, if you look at the old law of incitement, the person who encourages the crime would be guilty whether or not the crime takes place. Okay? There's no problem with that. That's good. You encourage another person to commit the crime, doesn't matter whether the crime is committed, you'll be guilty of inciting. However, if I, for example, help somebody, provide assistance to a person to commit the crime, but the crime isn't committed, then I would have not committed any offense. You see, if I encourage him, then I would have committed an offense. But if I assist him, I would not have committed an offense if the crime did not take place. So therefore, the new law covers both encouraging and assisting in the crime, right? So Serious Crimes Act 2007, Section 59 abolishes incitement and come up with three new inchoate offences, Section 44, 45, 46, which consists of encouraging or assisting. So not just inciting, but also assisting. So you can encourage or you can assist in the commission of an offence intentionally, or encouraging or assisting an offence believing it will be committed, or encouraging or assisting offences believing one or more will be committed. Let's go through one by one. Section 44, a person commits an offence if he does an act which is capable of encouraging or assisting the commission of an offense. So you do something that is able to encourage the commission of an offense or that's able to assist in the commission of an offense. And the mens rea is that he intends to encourage or assist in his commission. So his intention. Okay? So that's section 44. Section 45, slightly different. If he does an act of encouraging and assisting the commission of an offense, actus reus is basically the same, right? But the mens rea here is not intention. Here is he believes that the offense will be committed and that the act will either encourage the commission of an offense or assist in the commission. So the mens rea for section 45 is belief, not intention. And section 46 basically is where he does an act which is capable of encouraging or assisting in a few offenses, right? Not just particular offense. Let's go and commit this, and this, okay? And he believes that one or more of the offenses would be committed. And the act would encourage or assist the commission of at least one of them. So he can basically do something to encourage commission of 5 offenses, and he believes that his act will encourage at least one or more of them. Okay, one or more of them. It is immaterial, if you look at subsection 2, for the purposes of 1b2, whether the person has any belief as to which offense will be encouraged or assisted. Okay? So basically, the mens rea, as we have seen, is that he intends to encourage or assist, or he believes that the offense will be committed. But it is more than that, right? Section 47 goes on to provide that for 44, 45, 46, there is this additional mens rea requirement that he must intend or believe that the offense he encouraged or assist should be committed with the mens rea required, or was reckless as to whether it would be committed with the mens rea required, or if he has the mens rea for the offense himself. So this is an additional mens rea requirement which is found in the section 47. And section 49 provides the incorrect nature, okay, confirms the incorrect nature rather of this offense. A person may commit an offense on this part whether or not any offense capable of being encouraged or assisted by his act is committed. Okay, whether or not it is committed. So it is incorrect in nature. Now there is a defense, statutory defense found in section 50. So a person is not guilty if he knew certain circumstances existed or he believed that certain circumstances existed, and it was reasonable for him to act as he did in those circumstances, or it was reasonable for him to act as he did in the circumstances as he believed them to be, right? So basically, it's that if he knew or he believed that certain circumstances existed, and this belief, if it was belief, it was reasonable, and it was reasonable for him to do what he did, okay, in those circumstances as he believed them to be. Okay, sounds a bit confusing, but let's give a simple example, right? Uh, this is a speed limit in England, right? So speed limit here is 70, and when it says 70, it is saying is referring to 70 miles per hour, okay? Right? 70 miles per hour, not 70 kilometers an hour. So let's just say you are driving, right? And you are hitting the speed limit, 70 miles per hour. So you're going to 70 mph. And then you see in the rear view mirror a car coming behind you very fast. So obviously the car is speeding. It's obviously committing an offense. And it's coming very close behind you already. It's catching up to you already. And so what you do is that you decide to move to the side to let him pass. Now, what you are doing is you're basically actually assisting him in committing his offense of speeding, right? You are actually assisting in him committing the offense of speeding, but it was reasonable for you to do that because you were afraid that if you don't move to a side, he may actually crash into you. It's a bit dangerous, so you decide to let him pass. You're actually encouraging him or even assisting him to commit the offense of speeding. So in those circumstances, you will fall under Section 50. You will have a valid statutory defense because it was reasonable for you to do what you did. The key thing is that it was reasonable for you to do what you did in those circumstances or in the circumstances as you believe them to be. Now, one more issue regarding this offense. What if the offense was impossible to carry out? Okay, it was impossible to carry out. That means that you encourage a person to commit theft, but actually there was nothing to be stolen, nothing that can be stolen. So it was impossible to carry out that offense. Or perhaps you encourage or assist a person to commit murder when that person is already dead. So it's impossible to commit murder because you cannot kill a person who's already dead. Now, the provisions do not tell us, right? Serious Crimes Act doesn't tell us, Section 44, 45, 46, or for that matter, 47, 48, 49, 50, doesn't tell us about it. So one way to look at it is that if it doesn't tell us, then it will still be an offense because it doesn't specifically exclude it. Okay, it doesn't specifically exclude it. However, another way to look at it is that in Section 44, it says that it must be an act capable of encouraging or assisting in the commission of an offense. So if the commission of the offense was impossible, then it cannot be an act that is capable of encouraging or assisting in the commission of an offense. So there's one way to look at it also, right? Similarly, in Section 45, an act capable of encouraging or assisting in the commission of an offense, one may argue that if the offense was impossible to be carried out, then you cannot do anything that was capable of encouraging or assisting in such an offense since it's impossible to be carried out. Okay? Now, these are photos taken back in 2011, specifically August 2011 in London, right, where there were some riots that took place, and then pursuant to the riots, there were a lot of looting that was taking place, right? So people broke into the shops and started taking things for themselves. Now, in the case of Crown against Blackshaw and others, this was a court of appeal decision, right? Back in 2011, it was the first case that actually used these provisions under the Serious Crimes Act, right? Now, basically, there was this Facebook posting about this smashdown in Norfolk Town, and the purpose of this was to wreak criminal damage and rioting in the center of Norwich. And there was also another Facebook page which is on the Warrington riots. So Blackshaw and others actually posted up these things on social media, and they were found to, they were charged for actually encouraging others to commit a criminal act, right? Like criminal damage or rioting or even stealing. Okay, and they were charged for an offense and they pleaded guilty for these offenses. So you see here is the newspaper, is the news portal report. Uh, where does it say they were shocked by the sentence? Right, they were jailed. Right under the photo, you can see that they were jailed for 4 years. For 4 years, so they appealed against it. Although they pleaded guilty, they didn't expect to be jailed for 4 years. So they appealed against it. Basically, it's an appeal against not against conviction because they pleaded guilty, but against the sentence. And the court of appeal rejected it. Right, rejected it. So they had to go to jail. They have to go to jail for 4 years. Okay, so let's just recap Serious Crimes Act, Section 44, 45, and 46. We will be moving on next to conspiracy and attempt, but not this week.